Let's review The Post. The Post is directed by Steven Spielberg, stars Meryl Streep, Tom Hanks, Bob Odenkirk and Pat Healy. This film tells the true story of the Pentagon Papers. This is a big event that happened in history right before Watergate broke. It was a scandal that involved the government's knowledge of things that they weren't revealing to the public. Takes place in the early 1970s, and essentially there were these documents, these top secret documents that chronicles the U.S. involvement in the Vietnam War. It's an example of old-school filmmaking that's modern at its core. It's a reflection of all we stand to lose if news reporting and the outlets that support it should vanish, especially in the face of a president who strives daily to crush it. It's the story of a woman, Washington Post publisher Katharine Graham, played here in a striking performance by Meryl Streep, who had to fight for respect at a paper she actually owned. And even if its goals are lofty, the movie is so fleet and entertaining that you never feel you are being lectured to. This is a superhero movie for real grown-ups. Steven Spielberg's technical mastery and narrative skills are such that, even if he was making a film about Tom Hanks on a weekly shopping trip to his local supermarket, it would still probably seem intensely dramatic. Much of it takes place in offices, drawing rooms and dining rooms. There are no chases, no fights, no romantic subplots. Other than in a Vietnam set overture in which we see U.S. State Department military analyst Daniel, who later leaked the papers when he was embedded with U.S. troops, no guns feature either. The New York Times has scooped an exclusive on the Pentagon Papers, a document that had been recorded under a directive by the American Defense Secretary Robert McNamara, starring Bruce Greenwood, in the 1960s. A whistleblower has released to the newspaper these classified documents that prove the U.S. government's complicity in perpetuating the Vietnam War, despite knowing full well that it was a waste of lives and resources. In 1971, Richard Nixon is in the White House, and has continued with the interference in Vietnam that started in the 1940s. Spielberg used real voice recordings of Nixon to illustrate the president's stand and instructions. The Washington Post editor Ben Bradlee, starring Tom Hanks, and his reporters are now seeking the best follow-up story, one that will make them nationally relevant. As the editor of a family-owned local newspaper in the 1970s, Bradlee is believably committed to the truth and to the news. He's also caustic and grumpy and disdainful towards the newspaper board. Bradlee is a composite of the singular, persistent editors that would today be battling against commercial priorities and political arm-twisting. Meryl Streep plays Katharine Graham, who is the owner of the Post, is trying to find her footing in a male-dominated world. Streep sets her pace, showing the conflict faced by a woman in a male-dominated world, to finally bring it home as she steps out of the wings, and confidently stands as an equal in the all-boys club. First half that feels a little unfocused, because they're setting up real conflict with Meryl Streep, who is the owner of the Washington Post. She's thinking about going public with the paper, thus giving up some authority, why that she already has, and there are men behind the scenes trying to abuse their power against her, because they think they can, and so that is also very relevant for today. But once they get the papers in their hands, the film becomes that riveting journalism drama that I wanted from the beginning. The last half is extremely riveting. That first half though is a little tough to get through, but I would recommend seeing The Post, and I'm gonna give it a 9. This is still a good movie and one filled with great work, and you should see it. It may be set in the past, but The Post is a timely and urgent tale for the present. Thank you so much as always for watching.